This is episode 2 of the After I Got High podcast. My name is ChimneyGriff.
And I'm Kai.
Ready to do this today?
I'm about to sesh, dude.
I already can't speak English, but that's okay. You know what? We're going to have a fun episode today. We did our first episode a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I think we had a lot of fun with it.
I think so, too. And if y'all have seen it already, you know that it was a good time, and you probably seshed with us, so...
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome to episode 2.
Yeah, so I think we needed to have a second episode of just me and Kai because we still don't know each other that well.
No, we're learning slowly but surely. Chim and I became friends probably 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we hit it off pretty quick. He was at a show that I was actually shooting as a photographer, videographer, and he was doing interviews for After I Got High. And I was like, yo, what's your name? I'm Kai. Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, my name's Griffin. I do this, that, and the other. And then I found out about Chimney later, but...
No, chimney wasn't a thing yet, bro.
Really?
When we met, no, there was no chimney.
Damn.
So it was 5 months ago then.
Well, it was beginning of summer.
Yeah, so it was beginning, yeah. So that's crazy, bro.
That is crazy.
So we hit it off, and then I had the goal of making a podcast, and he had already made a few podcasts. Mm-hmm. So now we're here doing episode number 2, and I think there's no better way than to start this by lighting up.
A little sesh.
Fuck yeah! So we have a few J's. We're both gonna smoke our own.
If you've got some herb in your possession, go ahead and spark it up with us.
Yep, we invite you to get lit.
Yeah, we're about to have a good time.
They're probably already lit, to be honest.
Yeah. If they're here, they're lit.
Bro, we waited, though. We were honestly good today. So last episode, I think we both showed up a little baked because that's what we do. But this time, we were like, why don't we try with a fresh mind and have a fresh sesh?
We had some foresight this time.
So that's what we're doing. You want to pass me the lighter, sir?
We all need individual lighters.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this, guys. So next episode, we're going to try to get a big-time guest on. If you guys have any suggestions, respond in the comments right now. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about this, guys. I feel like this is a great outlet for me to be able to talk to you guys, share stories about my life, share what I'm working on, build a relationship on video.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I'm really fucking hyped about this. This is sick,
dude. It's like it's a really strong opportunity for people who are either involved in the cannabis culture or are interested in getting involved in the cannabis culture. This is like a good putting your foot into the water type podcast where we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. If you
what's your favorite thing about the cannabis culture?
My favorite thing about cannabis culture,
just the community, this whole world that we live in.
So I started smoking cannabis, using cannabis when I was 13, which sounds like a long time ago.
Nice,
right? Yeah, it's tasty, right? Yeah, it's not bad. So that experience came about pretty young. I stopped for a while. And I stopped when I was younger. Yeah, I was like 13.
So you started really early.
Well, 13.
What the fuck?
I smoked for the first time, and then I told on myself. I went and told on myself. I told my parents. I was like, I smoked. I felt like such a bad kid, whatever. Anyway, fast forward. I had nothing to do with the culture, obviously, then. And now, at the age I am now, 28 years old, I've developed this really strong sense. I mean, you asked what I love about the cannabis culture, that there is this culture with cannabis that's undeniably stronger than any sort of marketing, any sort of branding. The cannabis plant itself, cannabis sativa, brings people together in a way unlike any other commodity on this planet.
I agree.
I don't think anything does it justice.
I feel like with all the craziness going on in the world right now, there's not a whole lot of things that will just connect anyone with each other.
Right.
And you got this beautiful product that doesn't matter. Your skin color doesn't matter. Your gender. If you smoke, you're going to vibe.
Well, and you'll get along with those people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You guys just hit it off every single time.
You can take 2 people from different parties, I'd say even, and put them in the same room. And honestly, you could do this with probably dictators and fucking people who are of power that have never smoked in their life. You gave them a joint, you had them smoke together. Certain barriers are going to fall. Certain understandings that they have of each other are going to fade away, and they're going to have a playing ground that's level and even. For
everyone's people when you're smoking.
Exactly.
It's just they're just people at the end of the day, and you just want to relate and you want to vibe and you want to create success with each other.
What do you love about the cannabis culture?
I mean, I'm the exact same thing that you said. I feel like I just can become homies with anyone over this little fucking flower that we smoke, which is crazy. And as much as smoking could be bad for me, the experiences I get from this product is second to none. You're not gonna get this. You're not gonna be able to build relationships with people as easily. I think it's hard when you become adults to make friends.
For sure. Well, because there's less there's less
You're not in school. You're not in positions
interaction with people, right? And like people our age find their friends at bars or
it's a little awkward. Like that's the reason why people drink. It's like, you know, it's hard to be sober. I don't know if that's true or not, but like
hard to be sober.
It is easier when you have some type of substance that can make you feel a little bit more comfortable. And luckily with this type of substance, I feel like it just like expands your mind.
I'm going to be honest too, and this is just my take on it, and y'all can, you know, obviously weigh in if you feel like it, but I don't think alcohol is a great way for people to connect truly. I think alcohol is a great superficial
no way to connect, but it's a great way to have a fun
It's a great way to have a good time for certain people. I'll give you all some backstory about myself. I don't drink often. I'll have a beer out at dinner or like a shot with the boys, but like I don't drink excessively because I don't like the after effect.
You know what I think it does a really good job with though?
What?
Sorry for cutting you off.
No,
but
good.
It's you bond over. It's kind of like weed. It's like you get hammered with this dude, you're gonna want to do business with him because you had that crazy experience with him. You're gonna think back to that night and you're gonna be like, holy shit, we got fucking sauce.
I've spent a lot of time around people who are overly hammered and I don't feel like they remember the serious aspects of any conversation. So that's why I don't think alcohol is like great for that type of socialization.
You don't remember the conversation, but you remember the vibe of the person.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair. I'd just say, like, from my experience being in the touring industry with music, like the music back end, I spent a lot of time in green rooms with people who are way too fucked up with all of these ideas, and they never make it to fruition because these people are just hammered.
That's interesting.
No, it is.
Because they do bring up a lot of ideas. He used to work with EDM artists and would record them. That's what he's talking about.
I still do shoot concerts. I think there's a culture around cannabis that is completely different. Like I was going to say, like completely different from any other thing. I don't think alcohol has a shot in the world against being as beneficial as this
for
plant
sure.
right
That's
here.
why we're about to legalize it. I really hope in the next few years it's going to happen.
What do you think is going to come from that though?
What?
The positives of legalization.
Positives? I mean,
there's plenty, right? But like try to think of
people having access to it is going to be huge. Us being able to do science and study it is really important to me because as much as I say I feel healthy right now. I feel good about what I've put in my body so far. I don't actually know what the effects are going to be long term.
Of what?
Of smoking weed, and like there might be better ways to do it. So I hope that we get more research. If we can start like actually allowing scientists to research this shit.
Yep.
I would love
government funded.
I would love to know, maybe there's a strain that I should be smoking every single time because it would work better for my body. Like we don't know anything.
That's a good point. And I think actually what's interesting is we have a pretty underground culture of that already. It's just not on the surface level for consumer level. Like you and I being where we are, like we might have intel on what's clean, what's grown properly, what's healthy for you per se. Mm-hmm. And truthfully, I was going to say this too. I used to smoke cigarettes, and when I would smoke cigarettes, my throat I used to smoke cigarettes, and when I would smoke cigarettes, I could not breathe. I had a hard time fucking walking up hills and shit. I only smoke cannabis now, and in that time I have had zero of the same issues in terms of endurance and all of that. So I don't think that the smoking aspect of this is as bad as people put it out to be. I think that there are other forms.
I think it's really important if you're going to be a smoker to also prioritize working out.
For sure.
Like you talk about it a lot, but like recently I've started going to the gym, and I think there was a long period of time I didn't do shit. And I was young enough at that point, I think, to get away with it.
Yeah.
But now, if I just sit on the couch for a full week and smoke, I will feel it. But if I will feel the effects of that. I will feel just my body not feeling right. But if I work out every day that week and then smoke every night, it's fine if you smoke.
Cancels it out.
It cancels it out of the way.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good thing for us to prioritize that. I think, like, if you guys are even a younger stoner and you're one of our followers, I wish I had started sooner. I really do. Like, it's like the sooner you start, the better. And I know it's not easy. Whether that's one day a week, that's great. If you can go one day a week, fuck yeah, you're getting in the rhythm of it.
Listen, if you make it into a position where you're able to sweat at least one time a week, I'm going to say at very least one time a week. I'd say 3 times a week is like a good place to start, 1 to 3 times a week. If you're sweating, you're getting your heart rate up, no amount of smoke that you're doing is going to cancel out the health benefit of going to the gym and raising your heart rate. Like you should just take care of your body in general. You know what I'm saying?
It's so good for you.
Well, and on top of that too,
like
it's not like you're gonna like a lot of people have this mindset of like all or nothing, right? Like, oh, I smoke weed or I do this, so I shouldn't go to the gym. It's like pointless. No, dude, there's like a very good balance between cannabis culture and being a healthy individual. You don't have to, like I suggest you get up off the couch and go and fucking listen to our podcast while you're walking, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like
podcasts are so good for the treadmill.
So good.
Like I've been trying to listen to music the past few days and it's like, I just want to hear some like insightful thoughts or stuff that's going to make me laugh when I'm on the podcast. Like I don't want to be or when I'm on the treadmill. I don't want to be just hearing.
When I'm on the podcast.
When I'm on the podcast. Yo, I should do a podcast on the treadmill would be tough. But yo, I'm not even used to being on in a hot box anymore. Like this is like I haven't.
Pretty boxy, yeah.
Like I told you earlier, like I don't smoke in my apartment. Nope. They all see I only smoke on the balcony.
Right.
So I'm not even used to this. And right now I'm worried that like they're not gonna even be able to see it and we're not gonna be able to use this content. Yo, TikTok, you better not flag this shit just from a little smoke. They don't know.
Hey,
we have a smoke.
We have a hazer machine. What are they talking about? It's just for it's artificial clouds, guys.
Deny. You know. So should we read some stories now? I feel like it could be a good time.
Yeah, I was thinking actually the same thing. I think a few stories would be good.
Look at us being on the same page. You know, we're on the exact same. We've smoked the exact same amount today.
Are we about the same?
Yeah. But I mean, like in general, like normally we come in a different. Like
we actually are on par with each other's.
I think I'm kind of in the lead, maybe
a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Let's go. All right, let's.
That's funny.
Let's read some stories.
Let's do it. I'm with it,
bro. All right, so let's go.
What do we have today?
I'm gonna read one that's short. I like when they're short.
Let's hear it.
After I got high and realized I didn't have any snacks, I got desperate and put Cholula sauce on wheat thins. Shit was gas. Wheat thins, isn't that like the cereal, that nasty ass cereal?
I mean, bro, like if you're gonna put anything on
Cholula.
I'm not saying that's a bad idea. That might actually kind of hit low key.
No, that sounds pretty nasty. I ain't gonna even lie.
A little bit of hot sauce on it?
Like, isn't wheat thins like
it's like a
cracker? That's
kinda.
It's like a cracker.
A wheat thin, right? Am I thinking of the right thing?
I don't really.
You ever had a
remember.
Triscuit?
No.
Oh,
maybe.
horrible.
You want to read one?
Yeah, I do.
Read the ones on the bottom. We've already read some of the ones on the top.
All right, bet.
Guys, this is nice. I'm really enjoying this J right now, and it's just nice. We had a full morning tea break, and I'm proud of us. And I feel like the podcast is good for making us do full morning tea breaks.
I think so too. I think so too.
Guys, remember, that counts as a tea break. If you take off the morning, it's a tea break.
Listen. When it comes to not smoking, and like some people will have a differing opinion of this, and that's fine. I believe, and it's hard to do this sometimes, but I believe if you reward yourself with the cannabis rather than making it your priority of the morning or the day, you can still smoke all afternoon, but just do something first, whether that's going for a walk or fucking going to the gym.
I ain't gonna lie, I called you yesterday, bro, and I was like, I keep waking up in the morning, and all I'm thinking about is taking a dab.
I know.
Bro, so like, no,
I'm the same way.
So we're not gonna hate on you guys. We're just trying to speak like wisdom that we don't even listen to ourselves 24/7. So hopefully you guys.
Yeah, it's no hate. It's more
if you're in college right now, you should be a bum. I was a bum all 4 years. I'm not gonna even lie. Maybe don't be as
get
much
a head
of a
start. You know what I'm saying? Or get a head start.
Or don't be a bum like me for all 4 years. But it worked out pretty well. You just need to like, get by. You guys know how to finesse the system. Just get by. Do enough that you don't have to drop out, and do enough that you can get a job, and do enough that like you show up to parties every once in a while and you're still social. Like just do enough. You just gotta do enough.
I've got I got one for you, yeah. Okay, so this person says, yo, okay, so basically this one time, me and my homie were on shrooms, and we were at my friend's house, and we had jet skis, so we took my 3-foot bong out and started smoking it. And mind you, it's like 11:30 at night. Out of nowhere, this kayaker pulls up and asks for a hit, and then left me and my friend. We were so confused, it was mad funny.
I love that.
That sounds like an incredible adventure on a fucking jet ski, but...
That's the other thing I love about this this product. The amount of magical moments that happen after I smoke. What the fuck?
Very random. Yeah.
And there's no other reason why you would be out at night at 11:30, like doing random shit if it wasn't for weed.
Yeah, it's a mission, right?
It's like you're always going on a mission, which I love missions.
Back in the day, we would call it a mission. That was.
Bro, that's a great story. I like hearing you read stories because I feel like I'm hearing Seth Rogen read me a story.
Oh my lord!
I'm gonna keep bringing that up, guys. I really want to brand him as like Seth Rogen's alternative
Listen,
voice.
I don't have the laugh.
But no, it's the second part. When you start the sentence, it doesn't sound like him, but it's the second half.
That.
And your laugh is not the same at all. Your laugh is very different.
I've been for those of you who are just learning this, I've been coined as a Seth Rogen similar voice for quite some time by random people all the time. I don't know who the fuck came up with it in the first place, but I've heard it probably 5 times in the past 6 months, and these are random people. These are people that don't know each other. So it's not like they're
No, people must have called you that all your life. Your voice, is your voice changed recently?
I mean, I have a deeper voice now that I'm like.
But you should have got that deeper voice when you were like 18.
Not really. I mean, shit. If you ask Austin, who's fucking behind the camera, I don't think I had a deep voice until like later.
Really? His voice changed? He had like later.
You think I sounded like Seth Rogen when I was younger? I don't think so. I was like
Bro, didn't I call that out like the first time I met you too? I feel like I called it out too before you even said anything.
You may have.
Which is crazy too.
How are you feeling off this?
I'm loving this. So, have you always been like a primarily joint smoker? Like I know you love your joints.
How do you
over like there's been 8 years or 10 years of you smoking. What has that journey been like for you? Smoke wise? Like how did it start? Where did it go?
Are you asking like
you
what do I smoke the most of?
Yeah, like over the years, like right now I'm in my bong era, bong era.
That's fair. I think I graduated to joints when I was able to have more like quantities of cannabis, because you can't just be rolling joints if you're buying dime bags and fucking dubs and stuff. So now that there's like no shortage of weed, I definitely smoke joints more. But like when you're a teenager, like I was smoking weed out of a fucking apple.
You said the can, bro.
Or a can. Like we would literally take a Sprite can, and for those of you that are OGs, you'll know this. You take an apple, you take a can, and once it's empty, you crush the inside of the top part and you poke some holes in it. And what you got to do to poke those holes is pull the tab off of where you open the can, break it a little bit, poke the holes here, pop a carb in the side, and then you just put your butt on top and you hit it out the mouthpiece. It's horrible for your body, and I'm sure there's some health repercussions. Definitely don't do that.
We don't feel them yet, so that's good.
But like in truth, like that was our option. No one wanted to own a pipe. Everyone thought that was like.
I did it out of the water bottle, so it wasn't much better, with tin foil.
We've done gravity bong. Yeah, you put a little.
That's what my main way was.
You would take a water bottle, you'd melt a hole.
Bro, but you get so much higher from the gravity bong.
That's true.
I don't know if that's true or I just was like
no, that's true. That's
true. The plastic, some type of mix with that, bro, got you so fucking high.
Heady plastic.
Bro, no, I'm not gonna lie. I remember just being like, also it was the beginning. Like the difference between my tolerance then and now is 1 to 94 or something,
Of course, dude. I mean, how do you feel about, and this is an interesting take because some people don't have an opinion, some people don't like it, some people do. How do you feel about cannabis being at a place where you can consume 95% THC products? Do you think that's like overkill?
I don't like that's like dabs, like concentrates.
Exactly.
They even make that shit.
Well, that's.
I don't know if there's a point. I like as long as my bongers get me high as fuck every single time.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Do I need to go even higher than that? I don't even think I do.
You can, but I
don't think I need to.
I just don't know. Like, I think our bodies are more well fit for cannabis itself, not like concentrating it.
I can take I like.
Of course, I like dabbing too.
But that's what I'm saying. Like my eras, bro. I went on a dab era.
Yeah.
Like there was a part of my college career for probably
dab or pen.
Pen. Then dab.
Okay, like out of a rig?
Yeah, then I started dabbing all the time.
In college?
In college.
I can't even imagine the oil you were getting.
Oh, I was dabbing so much. But you know what? I think, for the most part, I think the stuff we got in was pretty solid.
In Boston?
No, well, I was getting stuff from Cali. Like, I had plugs. That was the thing.
Fair.
So, and I was the plug. So I was just making sure, like, if it wasn't good, this is a funny story.
Oh, yeah, tell it.
It's a funny story. So, oh, no. You want to pass me the light? So, when I was in college, I started selling, like a lot of people do. I was in North Carolina, so it wasn't very safe, but that's not the point of the story. So, I bought an ounce of wax when I think it was my sophomore year, okay?
Oh, so you bought a felony.
I bought an ounce of wax, you had to sell. I wasn't thinking like that. I didn't think about felonies or any of that. I was just,
in fucking, what state?
North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, they're not.
So I was just sending it. But, so I bought an ounce of wax, and it comes in. And I take a dab off it. I'm like, this shit tastes like gasoline. Straight gasoline. Like, shit, it still got me high, but it tasted like gasoline. And I was like, I'm not selling this shit. Like, I can't sell this shit.
You had a pound of this?
No, an ounce.
20
grams, 20 grams. Nothing.
I thought you said a pound.
No, my God.
You did say a pound. A minute ago you said a pound.
I think I meant to say an ounce if I said
Oh, man. That's why
I never had a pound in my hands. Never once in my life.
I mean,
so I have an ounce of this wax, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this shit. So my homies that got me into dabbing, they lived in the apartment building over.
Okay.
So I walk over there. I'm like, do you guys want this ounce of wax? So I gave it to them. For the rest of the semester, they were just taking globs of this dab wax whenever they wanted. I would not rip it. Like, I'd be over their place, and they would be just dabbing this shit.
You just gifted them?
I just gifted my homies this.
An ounce of oil?
Yeah, because I wasn't going to sell it. I wasn't going to smoke it myself. And they were down. They were saving some money. They were big dabbers.
Right.
So they just took it, and they knew they knew I wasn't going to rip it.
And they raged it. They
loved it.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, bro. You're welcome, Andrew. You're welcome, Owen. You guys got hooked up that semester.
Yo, okay, but now I'm curious. Just the black market mind. I'm just curious. How much was an ounce of oil for you
back then, bro? I was not buying. This was not a normal thing, for me.
Random.
I didn't buy ounces of oil wax. I didn't really sell wax.
Dude,
I
at
sold
one point,
weed.
if you were buying black market wax, you were definitely buying some fucking.
Bro, I was in the cart. I was in the cart demic. I was in the cart demic.
Yeah.
Cart. Demic?
Yeah,
that's what it's called. I was in that, and I was selling carts at that time. I didn't know they were fucking fake ass carts.
Oh, don't
I was
smoke
getting
carts.
them, bro, for like I was smoking these 24/7.
Listen, if you're doing any
no, they killed my lungs. They fucked
if you're smoking, if you're using cannabis, please. And I know I get the convenience of it, so like maybe limit it. Like if you're going on vacation or like if you need to be secretive, but like just don't use cards across the board. Like
if you don't need to, don't use it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they're terrible for you, but like that's like can't be
but
good.
Also, at least they have real cards now. I was fucking literally fiending on fake cards. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd rip it and fucking in between class. Like I was just ripping that shit 24/7. But listen, you want to know the prices of I don't remember the prices of the cards because I was making great money.
Let's hear it.
So I'd buy like 30, 40 cards at a time, whatever. And they were like $8 a piece, or like $8 to $12 a piece. They were fucking cheap as shit.
And you were flipping.
And in college, 35 to 45.
Oh,
I was making bank, but then also I was smoking up all my homies. So I don't know if I ever made any money or anything. God. I was just doing it for the fun.
Were you the cart plug, or were there other cart?
Everyone was a cart plug back then.
Oh, so there was like
this is like my sophomore year of college. This is 2019 when it was like peak cartdemic, and then right away junior year we came back gone.
That's crazy.
Just stopped. But I wish I took a full year of my life. I was ripping that fake shit.
What year was this?
2019.
Damn, just before the old pandemic.
And you guys were, and it was legal here, so you didn't know anything about it going on.
Bro, you know what we need to talk about, which is crazy? What? We need to talk about how the pandemic completely changed the dynamic of smoking with your friends or smoking with anyone.
Bro, it changed the dynamic of all our lives. Like, I'm the most extroverted person, and it turned everyone into a semi-introvert. But go say what you were talking about.
I was just going to say, like, you didn't want to sesh with anyone. And, like, I remember wanting to hang out with friends. And, like, at the time I lived at home. So my mom would she's like, you're not having anyone in the house. You're literally going to go sit on the porch with fucking camp chairs. And, like,
I was not allowed to see anybody.
And truthfully, obviously, they're all good now. But, at the time, it felt like the scariest thing ever, dude. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to sesh with people I cared about, bro. I thought
it was crazy. We were in
personal.
a period of time where we didn't know when it was going to end.
I know. And it's scary.
It felt like it was never going to end because it was a long-ass time.
It was forever. And truthfully, I was...
Thank God.
But I was I was considered a essential worker.
You were?
Yeah, so I was fucking driving around reading people's electricity usage. So all I had to do for the company was go on the side of people's houses, read their number, put it into a machine. And I did that all through the whole pandemic. It was crazy. It was insane. Really? Yeah, it was insane. Bro, it took me a lot of places.
So I made a mistake and I should have stayed at school, but I went home instead because my family was all freaked out. And they're like, you should come home, get away from school and once COVID started. So I go home. But I wasn't able to smoke then because I had already started a tea break. Oh. Because I was about to start an internship, and they were supposed to drug test me during that internship. So I'm not smoking. But you know what? That actually did really good for me because I started after I got high right before that. Yeah. Because I just get back from being abroad. Right. And then COVID hits. Right. So I get back and I have this channel. And that's when I grew up the most actually on Instagram. COVID. During COVID when I didn't have when I couldn't smoke. My only outlet was this channel and reading people's stories.
Posting their stories, yeah. Was this pre-interview then?
Pre-interview, yeah.
So you were just running at one point. Wait, at one point you were just running Green Squares.
Just after I got high's Instagram.
I didn't know that. No, but I'm saying I didn't know. But you weren't doing. So after I got high, didn't start with you doing real life interviews?
No.
It started with just green squares.
Just green squares.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
It was just literally me reading people's getting high stories, and nobody knew who I was. Like there was no. It was just it was basic, basic.
Yeah.
But that's when it grew the most because I was at home.
Well, people wanted to read that kind of
and
shit too.
Fucking, I mean, it was so easy to engage with people on the internet. It was so easy to engage with people on the internet back then because that's all we had.
Right.
So people were looking for good content, and there wasn't a lot of good content to be made back then because
we were all scared.
We were all
shitless,
inside.
First of all, yeah, we were all like in a place where like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. So I honestly, as much as I hate that time, at least this started from that kind of and grew from that, so I can appreciate it for that. But that tea break sucked. You want to hear the craziest part? So I do the tea break for like the internship starts. It's a remote internship. It ends up turning into whatever.
Remote, so you're just at home.
At home internship. Wow. I was supposed to be in fucking like Texas for it. So it starts with that, but so I'm not smoking, but I'm like, when are they going to drug test us?
Oh shit!
And they're never. And it's like week 6. I'm like, when the fuck are they going to drug test us? Like it's not. They're just pushing it off for no reason.
Yeah.
They never ended up drug testing me. Like a week or 2 before it ended, I was just like, fuck this, I'm smoking. They didn't ever end up drug testing us.
Yeah, they were faking it.
So I took off like literally 4 or 5 months of smoking weed for that.
Dude, that's actually a good little bit. Hang on, I want to ask you guys to submit stories where you had to take a piss test and you knew you were going to fail, but you tried your best not to. I want to hear about
the amount of people that have told me crazy ways that they've been able to pass that shit is wild.
I bet. Wait, do you know any off the top of your head?
Yeah. One kid, like they obviously the you tape it on your leg.
Sock.
You have like your somebody else
Like a
pee for
condom.
you.
Yeah, yep.
What else have I heard? One kid just was in there and like saw that they left, and I'm pretty sure I don't know what the fuck he did. I forget. But I've heard a lot of different people say that they've figured out ways to pass it.
I want to hear your guys' story. If you guys have any
Have you ever had to take a drug test?
Of course. I've failed them, yeah.
You failed drug tests?
Of course. Austin and I, one time, we went to this Amazon interview, and...
No way!
Bro, it was actually... This is such a good story. Austin and I, the night before, we're like smoking at my house. I had this thing called the Shack, and the Shack was like this sick like smoke hut. We would like draw all over the walls. There's a couch and shit. It was awesome. But we were sitting in there scrolling just hella late at night. We're like, oh shit, Amazon's having open interviews tomorrow. This could be like a great opportunity. Like we're gonna be like rich after this. Like Amazon, bro. It's gonna be great. And then we get to this interview. We're all fucking spiffed up. Austin and I are in the car before. We're like, fuck, dude, we just smoked a blunt maybe 6 hours ago. 2 blunts like 6 hours ago.
Wait, the car reeks?
No, in my shack, in the shed.
Oh,
and so we're like, fuck, it's definitely like in our system, right? We're not going to get away from that. We're like, okay, we'll be fine.
But did you know they were drug testing?
Yeah, well, we didn't. I mean, I don't even know. We knew it. We thought we would be fine. We thought we'd be fine.
You didn't think they were drug testing.
We thought they were I think in the ad they said they were going to do mouth swabs, which was like a new thing. It wasn't peeing in a cup.
Bro, that's crazy.
But Austin and I were like, we're just take hella Mentos or like gum, and we're just like chewing hella gum to try and get it off our cheeks and shit. We get into the interview. We're sitting there. And they're like, okay, we're going to do the drug test now. And Austin and I have this fucking, looks like a pregnancy test in our mouth, fucking waiting for this thing to test if it was negative or positive. Obviously, it fucking popped for positive for cannabis, and we didn't get the job.
They just were like, you gotta go. You gotta go.
No, we just let them. We didn't get a call back, nothing, bro.
That's crazy.
It was like a hiring event.
Bro,
like they were trying to hire people. Like they were probably just giving anyone a job. And Austin and I were just like, fuck it, we're going to fucking run this.
That's the craziest thing, that like people were actually not getting jobs for smoking weed. That's so fucked up for it being such an essential part of my life and most of your guys' lives.
Bro,
like that's crazy. That companies would be like, nah. I mean, I kind of get it. If you have somebody that's just smoking weed all day, like probably not the best employee.
No, yeah. I mean, that's a different story. But like, if you have someone who casually uses cannabis, you're gonna hire the dude who goes home and has a beer every night. What's the difference between that guy and the guy who smokes a joint?
It's same shit.
Literally no fucking difference.
Same shit, bro.
No difference. The only difference is you go home, smoke a joint, you want to eat some snacks. You go home and you drink a couple beers, maybe like too much alcohol, you're probably going to fucking hit someone. Yeah. Like it's a whole different fucking thing.
When you smoke weed, you don't get aggressive from this shit.
No. If anything, I like don't even know how to like, my motor function starts to slow down. Like come on.
Yo, you're just going to get fucked on. Like, dude, we're not going to fuck on anybody.
No,
we'll get fucked on.
Have you guys seen that commercial from like the early 2000s of the girl that's like, don't smoke weed? And then she's like in the chair, just fucking deflated like a pancake. Have you seen that shit?
I don't think so.
Wow, you're that. Whoa, we gotta run that.
Yo, what is this ad?
It's a fucking anti-weed ad.
Oh, I definitely probably have seen it.
And it's like, I forgot what the slogan was, but it's like something like so-and-so smoked weed. And like each girl.
Wasn't it like Nixon that fucked it all up? Who was it? Well, we're going to call him out right now.
I think it was either Nixon or Reagan.
No, can you it was Reagan. It was definitely Reagan.
It was Reagan because he ran the whole like Yeah, like scheduled drugs.
Bro, fuck you, Reagan. you fucked us all for the future, and we're gonna
just stop lying to people.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Nixon. Oh, it was Nixon. Look at me. I was right for a change.
Austin looked it up. It was Nixon. Politics are not my thing.
I just
Reagan also was against weed though.
But Nixon, another person. We want to. Like, if you do shit in your lifetime, we need to hold you liable. We're gonna make sure everyone knows that even though you're dead, people need to know that, like, even if they die and they do fucked up shit, we're gonna be talking shit.
Well, dude, here's the thing.
Fuck you, Nixon.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Stop lying to people about what it is. The whole Nixon campaign was, I mean, I can assume, was the reefer madness, people smoking cannabis and losing their mind, people getting high, jumping out of buildings, just crazy fucking rhetoric that isn't true. Dogma about a plant and demonizing a plant that literally has had no issue that they've been able to record. No overdoses across the course of history. No one's ever died from cannabis. It's fucking insane. And
there's no reason for it to be illegal. It's just too good.
It makes no sense.
I'm thinking we go through some questions.
You got some questions?
Yeah, we got. So if you guys ever want to submit questions, we'll have a place for it. But right now, it was just through my story. So let's read some questions. Top 3 favorite things to do while high. All right, you go first. Say one thing.
Top 3 favorite things to do while high.
Go say one thing, and I'll go next.
Go to the beach. I'd say go to the beach.
Go to the beach, you'd say? I'd say work on this shit. I love doing this.
It's pretty simple, but going to the beach is...
I love getting creative, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
What's your one more thing?
I would say, dude, flying the drone, getting really baked, and then putting the drone up in the air and, like, looking at the world from, like, a 3D, like a third-person perspective. Oh.
I just, like, love going on adventures.
I agree, too.
Like, I think the reason why these people have appreciated so many of my videos is because I just bring them on, like, adventures, and they're like the most simple things I do, but they end up turning into adventures because I'm fucking stoned.
Yeah, because exactly.
You know,
it's like a little enhancer.
No, it makes it more challenging. Like, life's too easy. Sometimes you need to just smoke a little to make it a little bit more challenging. Slow down a little bit, No, I used to do that for like class every day. Like, I'd show up to class high every single fucking day, which was crazy.
Me in high school, I didn't go to college, but
yeah, I don't know. All right, let's read it out.
And that question was from
Reef Richardson.
Reef Richardson. Thanks, Reef. Appreciate your submission, brother.
They have a lot of questions.
Most ever smoked. I'm just gonna say that. Most ever smoked. What
is your most ever smoked?
Oh man. Recently, in recent times, I was at a buddy's house doing some creative stuff, and he is a big backwoods smoker. We smoked 6 backwoods back to back. Didn't stop. Just before one of them was done.
How many hours did that take you?
I'd say like 2 or 3 hours.
2-3 hours of straight sessions the most?
Well, there was 3 of us in the sesh. So, you know.
I don't know. I feel like I've just gone, like, when I've been with my homies, I've gone on some benders where, like, I don't know if there's, like, one experience. There's been some
like just weed benders, you're saying?
Yeah, basically weed benders where it's just like 3-4 days of waking up, ripping with the homies, and then ripping all day.
Well, yeah, the most ever smoked is too broad.
Bro, I feel like all
in one sitting, I could tell. I mean, if you're
my
talking about
junior and senior year of college, 24/7, other than my few tea breaks, like
yeah,
I feel like I feel like you rip like normal people rip a lot.
Normal people,
not normal stoners.
Jim, we are so far from
rip
normal,
brother.
we are not normal. Bro.
Let's see what other ones they have.
Oh, let me read one. Let's see what
there's so many, bro.
I appreciate you guys submitting.
MJ or LeBron? Somebody said I'd say LeBron because, you know, he's our GOAT. He's fucking sick.
This is a great question.
38, 36, crazy.
Who?
LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody asked MJ
did you
LeBron.
Bet on it?
No, I'm just impressed with LeBron. I just think, like, his ability to sustain himself.
Oh, he's a king.
For as long as he's been able to do, and it's nasty.
Go watch the Starting 5, I think is what it's called, on Netflix so far. Okay, this is a great one coming from Murpheus. Do you feel more high smoking not at home? I swear I get higher when I'm not at home. Dude, you know what's funny about that is when I'm in public, I do feel fucking more stoned. Definitely, like
just 100%. You know that the pressure's on.
Yeah, there's like this. Well, I just feel like I'm on some sort of stage when I'm like out stoned. Like everybody's like, and nobody's paying attention.
But you know that's the best part about Seattle. People don't look at you at all. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
Yeah, it's called the Seattle Freeze. It's kind of sad.
No, but they all look, and it's literally like I like look at them on purpose to see if they'll ever break, and they literally keep their eyes just straight forward. It's crazy. I'm walking around just like this, like just waiting for interaction.
I would say this is a good tip for if you've made it 35 minutes and 39 seconds into the podcast. I would tell you that the best thing you can do is when you walk past someone on the street, say hi to them. It's so easy. It's so easy. And it makes things so much more smooth of an experience when you're like in public. Like don't be afraid to be social.
I feel like that's one of the things I regret most when when I'm not social. When I go to a place and I just don't try to network. I don't try to talk to people. It's on you at the end of the day. People are not going to normally try to talk to you, so it's on you to try to make those conversations.
Well, look at our friendship.
Yeah.
For real. I met you at the scope screening,
Yep.
and you were sitting in the back, and I was just like, oh, what's up, dude? Who are you? And like, we got to know each other, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go film some movies. I literally was like, I'm just going to come with you. And I like went and watched you do it for a second and kind of wandered off to my own thing. But that was just like
how we met. Yeah. It's so crucial. Like, I feel like, and I'm not great at it, even because I smoke as much as I do. Like, if I smoke and go to a networking event, it's going to be harder. It is. This one.
Turn the difficulty up a little bit.
The few things that I don't always love about weed is that it will make me less social in certain situations.
That's fair. And the strain, though, depending on the strain.
Oh, yeah, some strains. That's the other thing, and it's so hard to know what the fuck you're
we
smoking.
could go for days about this. Hang on. This is a great topic. Maybe we can cover this later. We're on all kinds of subjects on this episode, but one I'd like to cover is like, depending on what you smoke based on its terpene profile, it's going to change your high to a whole different degree. If you're smoking sativas all day and you find yourself in a place where you're feeling anxious or wired, it's because you're on a plant that has a limonene or a pinene structure in it that gives you that higher buzzy in your mind. If you're smoking indicas all day, you're wondering why you're tired because you're smoking things that have linalool, things that are myrcene, things that are more sleep-inducing or calming.
Is there anything to the growing process that can make you more anxious? Because there's some products I'm like, damn, this is making me really anxious compared to usual. Yes. And can it be on the grower, or is it always just on like the initial genetic that they get?
It could be a mix of both. I'm going to be honest with you, because the thing about how growers and farmers go about their cultivation is they're going to put different things in it. So you're going to have plants that have higher levels of salt or higher levels of magnesium that come out and smoke rougher or don't feel as good when you smoke. And
it's also about like how you treat the plant. Like I feel like with plants, I feel like it's a lot.
Certain people shouldn't be around weed.
Like, is there like a energy?
Negative people? Yes, people who are negative shouldn't grow weed because that plant is directly interacting with you and you're going to consume it.
So interesting.
You know what I'm saying? You know when you cook food and like you're pissed off, the food comes out shitty.
I don't cook a lot.
Okay, well if you were to cook and you're cooking angry, you got to cook with love, or else that shit's gonna taste like you didn't cook.
I get that. But like, even with plant, it's a living thing.
Same thing.
So it's probably even more.
All my homies that grow play music for their plants.
Wow.
In the grow 24/7. They'll be playing tunes for the plants.
For the plants. And what kind of music do they play?
Anywhere from reggae to, EDM stuff, whatever it may be that they're feeling the vibe is for the plant, for sure.
So like the strain that I got super anxious with for 2 weeks, they could have fucked up just the saw. They could have not given enough love.
You also just had to think about what kind of pesticides they're using, what kind of chemicals, fertilizers they're using to grow their plant. I don't know what company you were smoking. I can't really speak for everybody. I will tell you, though, that in the state of Washington, there are brands that are medically endorsed in the sense that they are medical grade cannabis. Sorry, not medically endorsed, but medical grade in the sense that there's no heavy metals. It's clean, entirely good and usable for people who are medicinal patients. It's amazing that that's a possibility in our state. We're lucky, actually.
In our state, that there's. So I should be looking for medical stuff when I go shopping.
If you have a med card.
I really need to take advantage of my med card because I told you I have one.
If it's current and you have a med card, you should.
I don't know if it's actually active anymore.
I have one as well.
How long do they last?
It's a year. You have to subscribe every year.
It's just mind-boggling to me that kids can get med cards because I know, like you said, like when you were a kid, you were
16. I could have got one, but I got one when I turned 18.
So there is a minimum age. 16 is the minimum age.
There's a parent consent situation there, right? So here's the interesting thing, and this is like a good way I think to like send off the podcast for this episode. There's a lot of medicinal use to what we're talking about. Getting high is fun, but like, when you're talking about kids using cannabis in terms of having a medical license, you're talking about kids who have seizures that they can't stop seizing from. They'll be endlessly seizing.
So like fucked up shit.
Like kids who need it to medicinally bring them back to center. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what we don't realize. Like most people, like I don't even process that. There's people out there that truly need it.
100%. 100%. And I'm talking about with the medical marijuana license, at least. I think at a certain age, your parents can consent that you need that as medicine. You're using it as an alternative form opposed to using opiates or whatever it may be. But dude, kids who have seizures or epilepsy or whatever it may be, in that case, tremors, whatever it is, cannabis helps them, like 100%. Doesn't matter their age.
I can't wait to see where the science of cannabis goes. This is going to be like over our lifetime. We're going to get to see some crazy shit happen.
We're in a good spot for it, for sure.
We're in a great spot for it.
I think we should definitely have a scientist on one of these times.
We should, yeah.
Like a cannabis scientist.
Yeah, I'm down, 100%.
Because then we can get some real, like, we can ask them about all that shit.
I'm into all that.
I love it. It's
really
so interesting.
I'm really into all that.
So if any cannabis scientists are watching this, or you guys know any, put them in the comments.
Yeah.
I think that's basically it for this episode.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to hopefully have a guest on next week.
Hopefully. I wouldn't put pressure on it. I think we're doing good with what we got going. But expect to see a guest soon. That's what's going to happen. We're going to have people on here that we can communicate with that maybe you wouldn't even hear from sometimes, which is really cool. Like giving you access to people that, we're learning about.
People that we're excited to speak to. That's they're going to be excited if we're excited to speak to them. It's just going to show through.
Yeah.
So make sure, subscribe, like, what's the other thing? Download. Just try to interact with our
support
content.
however you will. We really appreciate it. And honestly, if it weren't for you guys watching this and paying attention to what we're trying to do here, we wouldn't have the platform that we have. So thank you so much. And I'm excited for next week already, dude.
Yeah, bro. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Sounds good. ChimneyGriff out.